Hi guys, nice little watch recently purchased from eBay, bought this a couple of weeks ago basically. It's like a 1970s Citizen, 21 jewels, it's a hand wind, so it's quite an early Citizen. I paid £7.50 for this and it was in pretty good nick. I've given it a bit of a polish up and polished the crystal up a little bit and given it a really good clean. I don't think it's on the original strap, but the strap is very period and it's got a very nice kind of buckle with the this kind of ribbon across. I don't know what you call that, which looks very nice. It's a little bit big for my wrist. I haven't actually sized this up for my wrist yet because the pins are very stiff in this strap, so I need to take a little bit of time to see if I can, as you can see, not quite sure how to get these out, but I think they push out one way or the other with a pin pusher. I will give it a go, but at the moment I did have a quick go, but they just didn't budge. Yeah, so as you can see, it's like a 1970s or perhaps 1960s actually. I think it could actually even be 1960s. Citizen 21 jewels. We have the date on there, loomed to the hands. Really lovely condition. And these early Japanese Citizen movements are actually quite nice. If I get the back off, I'll give you a look. Before I do that, if you just note the case shape has a really lovely shape to it. It's kind of flat and then it comes down at an angle. Beautiful profile. It's simple of the time. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera with my hand. But it's got a really good look about it. The dial, I think that's about 36mm. And the name of this watch is it says it on there, a Parawater, which I hadn't come across before. But after a little Google, I see there's a few watches which have the Parawater name. I'm guessing that's because it's got some kind of water resistance to it. And you've got the serial numbers on there. And I would say, you know, I was never that big a fan of Citizen. I mentioned in another video of mine, back in the very early 90s, late 80s, I worked in Ratner's. It was one of my first jobs, and I got up to assistant manager of Ratner's. And so we sold a lot of watches there, and we sold Citizens, we sold Seikos. And I was a big fan of the Seikos. I wasn't too fond of the Citizens at the time. But these earlier ones, I think they're on par with Seiko quality-wise. When I get the back off, you have a look at the movement. Hopefully you'll agree with me that they are really nice. You've got a nice touch with the crown, CTZ. I can zoom into that. Now this is working very nicely, although when you wind it, it's quite stiff and it's springy. The crown kind of wants to spring back a bit. But apart from that, you can see it doesn't really click out. It always, well, saying that, it is, you just touch it and it goes back in. So I'm not sure if that's the way it's meant to be. Let's see if we can get the back off. I only just purchased this case back removing ball, which I bought from AliExpress for about 70p in a bundle. I explained in another video that I used the inside of a ball tip pen, the inside bit, cut off a bit of the clear one, pop that into the valve, and it's a quick way of inflating the ball without actually having to go and get a pump. As long as you put it past the valve, you can just inflate it with your mouth on the little tube. But they're great. They get the backs off, and you're not scratching it with the case back remover. The other one I've got, it's quite easy to jump out of these little lug holes, and you can scratch the back. So I like these because they don't damage it. If it's not too tight. If it's too tight, you're going to have to use the more traditional one. But anyway, I digress. Let's see if I can show you this without actually having to take the strap apart. I've just moved a little bit so we can get a little bit more of this light. It's a really beautiful looking movement. I was very impressed with the quality of this when I got the back off. It just looks superb. And the watch had actually stopped. So definitely probably could do with a service. I just gave it a little tap on the side and the watch has started again. But I've had this sat in a case for a couple of weeks. It's not been running, so it probably just needs to run a little bit. But I'm sure it could benefit from a service. I'm no expert whatsoever, but it seems like it's running not too bad. But I haven't actually worn this for any length of time, so I couldn't tell you if it's keeping good time or whatever, but it seems to work pretty well for the time I've been looking at it. So I'll put the back on, put it on my wrist and show you what it looks like. At the moment I've got another Citizen on, Citizen Eagle, which is the equivalent of the Seiko 5 basically. It's a little automatic watch. That one is working perfectly. So this is now my second Citizen. And I do like these early Citizens, they're great quality. Let's set it to the right time again. It may be because I was mucking around with this, it stopped it. As I said, this one is a little bit big for me. I need to take a couple of links out really. But there you go, it's got that nice lollipop second hand going around, the loomed indices or battens, markers. And I like this strap. I like the kind of ribbed clasp. And kind of bamboo style links there. So I'm not sure if that is a Citizen strap, but it certainly suits it very well, so I won't bother changing that. I think for £7.50 that's not a bad buy. I'm quite happy with that. It does seem to be working on the whole. As I said, I'm sure it could benefit from a service, but I need to wear it. I need to get the links out, get this so it fits properly. It's a little bit, doesn't need much. Just need to take a few links out. It's a little bit loose. And then I'll probably wear it one evening, see how it fares up. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that. Thanks guys, take care.